Get ready to splat, spray, and blast with the new enchanted paintcaster, the ultimate action toy of the century. Fast reload, superpower shots. The paintcaster lets you bring your A game every time. Add a 30 paintball mega pack so you're equipped for any battle, or home into your target with the magic missile expansion pack. Perfect for backyard battles, epic showdowns, disgracing your enemies, and all-day paint splattering fun. Available now at all Frack Toys near you. Known to the collectibles cause blood, curses, birth defects, sight rock, and various cancers, especially Dragonborn. Some assembly required, each sold separately. Batteries not included.
The last session was one of dark portents. Nail, some emissary of the goddess of death Carosa, took away Auntie Mold, but left behind news for Luce of some calamity that will befall the town in a number of days. The party also met Ollie, a dragonborn friend of Vox's who alerted them to the crabs never appearing in town the first time so long as the festival has been held. The final portent, a message from Ayana, given by Serve, revealing that the decade of letters from her have been systematically burned by a resident artificer, with them being none the wiser. Too often, disaster comes in threes, and all we can do is hope that there isn't a fourth. So, hell, that was weird. Luce, Liv, what are you guys doing?
Luce is trying to get off the topic of that ominous shit that she said before, and has given her a cookie. And what is like Liv's like facial expression of the cookie?
I mean, I've seen a lot of different cookies today. Okay. So, and I've eaten a lot of different cookies today. Do I really need this one extra one? Especially when someone is so sad about the cookies and also someone dying. So I'm just gonna pass it back to Luce. Yeah.
And then he'll just hit it next to her. Like for a later thing. Then, okay. How have you been doing so far? Because you said that you're new here, right?
Well, festival, attack, someone's kind of dead, and I look over at Vox, holding the memory core, and now people are crying all around me. This is perhaps the most exciting day I've ever had.
I think Luce's face is like a mixed emotion of like, what the fuck have you been through? Without like actually saying it. And just continues looking at her a bit and goes, that's good. I hope that more days that are less sad for some people and more exciting will happen. But I'm glad that whatever you were into before has passed, and now you are happier where you are. So congratulations for your first day. He says like with a question mark. First day out.
First day out, and I offer my condolences to your bad day.
You know, I necessarily wouldn't say it's a bad day. I mean, it wasn't a good day, but I'll say like what my mom says. And he kind of stands up straight. Today can be sort of bad, but as long as you have friends and you smile and there's things to kill and meat to eat, you're perfectly fine.
Words to live by.
Literally lives by that, and that basically happened today. Technically, basically. If you do need help with anything or want to talk, and I promise you I won't cry during it. Just today was a specific thing. I'm here for you.
Liv, okay, crosses the arms a little, waits, and then points at the forehead where there's that glowing symbol and just goes, "Do you know what this is?"
Does he? Would he recognize it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I was gonna say for took memory.
Gotta account for both.
Yeah, I think you would recognize that it is a symbol of Optimus, who is sort of like the god of conquest and endurance, but something is a little bit off about it. There seems to be like a line going through it.
Is that sort of a wound, or?
It is a brand of an oath breaker.
Oh, okay, well.
You wouldn't know anything about how to remove it, would you?
Would I, God in the sky?
Make a religion check.
Okay. I am Medina.
Editor, please add in like a thunderclap or something.
Make a religion check.
Echo effect on that.
That is a 16 on religion.
16 on religion. You know that this is different from cleric abilities.
Okay.
This is someone who made a promise to a god and therefore got abilities from them, instead of someone being like chosen by a god and then being given abilities from them. It is very close to what you're doing, being a cleric, but it is almost in the opposite direction, and is most likely something that is a bit more, let's say, volatile. It has the possibility for it to fail or be different, and usually comes with like a set number of conditions. You would know this to be a paladin mark. And that is also one that is broken. Something that I think you would also notice is that the line in the middle appears to be an incredibly old scar to the point where it's almost faded completely, leaving only the slight discoloration. And the symbol around it that makes up the symbol of Optimus, it appears to be a birthmark, as if both of these things have been around for most of, if not Liv's entire life.
Like, she didn't just become an oathbreaker, she was born into it type deal?
You could always ask her. Sorry, I'm God. You could always ask her.
Luce would just kind of look up ominously, like,
Thanks, God.
no.
You hear the heavens.
Stares into the
Stares
I feel like
into
if
the
you
fourth
say
wall.
God, I need to pretend to be Nail now.
What have I done to myself?
Only Luce can see the DM screen on the table.
Oh no, Luce is this world's Deadpool. Great.
You totally can be. That's a route your character can definitely go down.
It's just him going, what?
Roll a d4. Tell me what wall you break.
I bet I got you. You joke, but I'm actually rolling it. I got a 3. Yeah, I got a 3.
The third wall.
You exist within this world. You are unaware of me.
You
God
exit stage
damn
right.
it. Okay. So,
However, I will say, you have effectively
Pursued by a
broken the
bear.
third wall, which I'm going to say is basically, for one attack, you can do double damage to a structure at one point in this adventure.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Ooh.
Luce just kind of looks at you, and then this is where his never leaving the house nerd kicks in. He reaches to his bag, and he pulls out a lot of papers, and in the Furbolg language, it is written paladin shit.
Paladin shit.
And he starts to read through it, adjusts his glasses a bit. So, first, it seems like that's a birthmark. I'm not sure if you were born into it. I'm not going to ask because I don't want to breach any boundaries that we haven't technically set.
Born into it. Don't worry. There are no things stopping me from telling you.
Okay, were you born into it?
Exactly, born
Okay.
into it.
Well, in that case, and he scrolls through a few more pieces of paper. There are ways to maybe redeem yourself. I know some has because of reasons and things that may or may not be out of their control, was able to get their oath back, but in a different oath.
I refuse to swear an oath to that god again.
A different
No,
god, not that one. If you want, that's just one route. Another one is the things that I can't do as a cleric. But we could probably find someone who could magically remove that. But because it is something you were born with, it might be painful. And then he shows you the only thing written in common that says death. And it's like circled with a giant like red crayon. And you might die from it. But I'm willing to help you no matter what. We can look through the Book of Gods. He like pulls out a big ass book, and then we can find you someone, or we can maybe go through the Book of Archmages, and he pulls out another book. He's like, and we can go through this. I have a friend. If he isn't, oh no,
It's okay. Many people have tried. They've all failed. I have failed. You don't have to try that hard.
I don't know if
Because whoever died, it wasn't your fault.
he's like holding back tears. He just make like the baby about to cry face because that's so fucking sweet, and he's just like, thank you for that. But I'm very dedicated to the people I consider friends. So, if I'm being honest, even since you just told me not to try that hard, I'm probably going to try harder. Actually, later, I'm going to need to go and check on my mentor, and friend, because he got hurt during the festival, and I'm sure my mom is taking care of it, but I'm still worried. So if you would like to accompany me, I don't want to be alone.
Of course. I've never had a friend before.
You do now. And now he'll hold out his like kind of furry arm and hand.
Liv will hesitate a little bit, kind of being like, what is this gesture? Oh, he wants me to hold the hand in camaraderie and then go and hold it.
Does she like squeeze it? Does she just take it softly, like gently?
Just gently.
He smiles and goes, but first I think we need to make sure that Vox is okay. And he just looks over at Vox staring into the void.
Yeah.
At this point, he's staring. Vox is staring into the void, and you can just hear Pastiche and see them poking, just like kind of at their neck. Are you okay? Are you okay?
I think Vox is pretty stoic, except their eyes are like darting around back and forth. Like you just see them like white woman math meme. And then after like kind of taking notice, it is like kind of catches the hand at one point and be like, nah, I'm all right. Pastiche, thank you. Slowly, gingerly. I'm all right. I need to check something.
You're also a bit
So I'm
tacky
gonna be right out
now. No longer wet, but just tacky. The paint.
Oh, right. That's gonna be after we officially turn in situation. I can't worry about this. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna be right outside if y'all need me.
Do you want me to come with you? I'm supposed to stay with you.
Prestige, why don't you just stay here and why don't y'all brainstorm about if anything else. Luce, anything else that we need to know that happened? I'm sorry for your loss, of course. I'd come over and be more physically present, but I'd also like adjust my paint stained everything.
It's fine. You're also dealing with something, I can tell. But there's not really much. I did figure out the issue with the that weird guy I was seeing, and it seems like it was all visions I was having that we could talk about another time. It's not very important.
Hey, Luce, can you make me a history check, please?
Above the table, didn't he say that the town was going to die in 3 days?
That's what this history check is about,
48 hours. 48 hours, right?
hours.
Not even 3 days.
Yeah, Luce is
burying the lead,
processing that shit. Yeah, he's like trying to make it not sound bad because he doesn't want to make anyone else as sad as he is right now. History. Boom. 16.
16. You're looking through everything. You're like, okay, cool. I think I've dealt with all of this. And then suddenly there's like a tiny wave of anxiety as you're like, oh yeah, the town's going to be destroyed in 48 hours by something.
And then he just kind of goes white as he said, like he finishes his lesson. He goes, oh. Yeah.
Now I feel like I should not leave the room.
And then he goes, yeah, no, the vision, the person in my vision, they said that most likely, very possibly so, that the current, city we're in, might be destroyed. Maybe, probably.
Ooh. What?
Destroyed?
Come again?
Kind of
No,
poker
it
game?
wasn't. It was just not. I will explain.
You lost, and now we're going to die?
No, that's not what happened. The vision. No, I went. Okay. I went to go fulfill a promise to the dear friend of mine that passed, and she is a very big gambler. The entity, the vision I saw, he was there watching over her and us as we played. He may or may not played with us, but that's a whole nother conversation for later and not super important. And after the whole realization that she's going to be passing was had, he mentioned to me that the group of us would be this potential savers of the city, and something is going to happen to the city that we need to stop.
What? We as in the royal we, or we as in the folks in this room right now?
He said me, but I'm going to say we because I really don't want to be the only one alone in this situation. And the last time we had a fight, I got crushed. So I don't think that I'm a good candidate, but he said I'm a good candidate. Oh no. He's just going to start panicking.
Wisdom saving throw.
I'm covered. I'm
Pastiche
covered in pain.
also, while that has inched closer and closer to Luce while he's having the panic starting and their eyes are getting bigger.
Okay, you're good.
And they just put a finger up to Luce's lips. Shh. Shh. Portals are bad. They're not working. Does that mean that I'm stuck here? Does that mean I'm stuck here? My troop is stuck here?
Wait.
Because I would just leave. If you're going to be destroyed, I would probably just leave. I apologize.
I think if all of us could, that would be a reasonable thing to do, but I'd prefer we avoid the town being destroyed. Did he say how the town was supposed to be destroyed?
And he can't really speak because Pastiche's finger is still on his mouth.
No, it's gone now.
Gone, okay.
Yeah, sorry, it's gone.
And he'll go, no, he just looked at me in handsome angel form and said, you would protect the city. And I was like, what? And then he disappeared. So
No clues, no way of doing this, no methods.
And Luce will shrug.
All right.
Well,
Let's put what we know on the table, which is, granted, not much, and then we'll go from there in terms of where we need to learn.
The crabs are gone.
We know that the crabs didn't show up for the festival. Serb went haywire to deliver a message. For those present, that was my older sibling, my sister, who I have not seen in many years, and who was very sick and was taken to the Oriri collective to help cure her. And then I never saw her again. They supposedly gave her a job. And then I had been... Well, that's not important. But if she's involved somehow, I don't know what that could possibly mean. It has something to do with the meal ticket cards outside. Luce, the handsome angel man said the town is going to be destroyed in 2 days, give or take. Which...
probably less now.
So let's say 46 hours?
Uh-huh.
In points of investigation, we should check back with Pastiche's group, make sure that they can portal out. If they can't, then we know something, whatever's happened, it's got to do with the realm, or with the opening and closing of the portals in the first place. If they seems like they can leave, that doesn't work out. Alternatively, then something's going on with the collective, which means I might know another person who might be able to know what's going on. Am I missing anything? Is there anything that I didn't cover?
Well, I think if we wanted to maybe find out more about the Oriri collective, they run that tavern that I went to, the Familiar. We could go there, and it might be fairly lively at night, but I do believe we should talk to Josta, and I think Luce wanted to check on a friend.
Yeah, he's a very powerful wizard, mage, sorcerer himself, so he might know why also, maybe. So
let's get him and your mom on board.
2 birds, 1 stone.
okay, well, hold on. My mom? Maybe just carp. I don't know about my mom.
Okay, I apologize. It's just put on people who I know who are quite what's the word I'm looking for? Skilled.
She's very skilled. It's just dropping subject. Yeah, so we can do that.
Is this an innuendo?
No.
Okay.
And a what?
An innuendo.
But
Move on.
okay.
Skilled in matters of things.
Healing.
Oh, I mean, there is such thing as sexual healing as well.
What is this realm?
Who could say?
I think that the night is burning, so we also need to get rest. If you guys want, you guys can stay at my house, and then in the morning we can talk to people and then try and figure out what we need to do.
Pastiche, do you need a place to stay, or can you stay with your troop?
I could stay with my troop. Now that I've figured this out, I should probably go and speak to Josta. And I wouldn't mind going to the Familiar. I believe I could get more information there. I have ways of blending in.
If you want to do that tonight, then be my guest. Otherwise, I say we meet at the front of the Familiar first thing in the morning.
Is there a person that I should possibly disguise myself as? That would be a good person to go as. I'm quite good at it.
Do you need a disguise? What are we
I stand
hiding
out
from?
quite a lot.
I would look and see if you can catch the eye of the proprietor, potentially. Posing as him could potentially get you some information from those around, but you gotta be careful if you're gonna do something like that.
Oh,
This is
like knock out the proprietor of the owner So knock him out and be him.
And steal his
Maybe
clothes.
just pose if he's.
I could do that.
Okay. Maybe we don't.
I like this plan even more.
No, maybe we don't commit crimes.
But crimes are fun.
Ollie is a crime
We have
committer.
a criminal outdoors. Yes.
Ollie is a person who can be guided to do better.
Ollie is a fence and a scoundrel.
By the way, this entire time, there's just been like hushed sobbing from the other room.
Oh, buddy.
That staircase is getting longer.
Will he be doing that for
It's
a
getting
while?
taller in my mind.
Probably. The last time it lasted like hours.
He's very emotional.
Where should we, if we're splitting up for the night, where should we meet up? Then, in the morning?
I would say if either maybe at your troupe, at the stage in town. Alternatively, I would say we could meet here, but it's kind of out of the way.
Would the fountain be good?
My mother's shop.
The fountain.
Or the fountain. Actually, that it's not far.
I don't know where your mother's shop is.
It's like,
Let's do the fountain, and then we can move on from there.
yeah, fountain. Yeah, that's good.
The fountain? Okay. Yes. We'll meet at the fountain then.
Liv, there's a small kind of half room with a cot that you can stay in there.
Luxury.
Well,
Let me know if you need any extra blankets or pillows.
Blankets and pillows.
Oh, honey. All right. Vox is going to get like every bit of fabric that exists in this goddamn station. I think between Serve is the main thing. So it's Serve, Vox, and probably like one or two others who rarely show up for their shifts. Take it just if they have any extra cots for any night shift. I'm taking those two and I'm just like piling it into like, I'm going to make like a little nest for Liv to sleep in.
That is perfect. I love that so much.
Hell yeah.
okay.
You got 2 offers of where to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Look at you.
You are flush with
It
choice.
pays being homeless.
Put that in the quotes.
I am.
I am.
Let's not put that on a t-shirt, okay?
Put that really small on the back of a
You are
t-shirt.
flushed with choice. TM.
Yeah.
So, the 4 of you are splitting up for the evening. Let's do rollies to determine who we are going to focus on.
I got a 10.
3.
14.
I didn't roll nothing. Y'all did it really, really fast. Hold on. That is a 6 for me.
All right, Pastiche, you're up first.
Okay. Well, Pastiche says their goodbyes and then just starts walking and immediately forgets exactly where they are. And just continues to walk to try to find where they're going.
Pastiche, can you make me a survival check?
Absolutely.
I will say Luce is walking in a similar direction. So if you want an advantage
Survival
on
with
that,
advantage, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so 14 on the die, first one, and a 3. So 14 plus -1, 13.
13.
Damn.
I'm going to say that you have the choice between either going to the familiar or right home before it gets too late. Like, if you go to...
This is above table that I'm making this
if
decision.
you go to the
Okay.
familiar, you get lost a little bit along the way, to the point where you think, oh, I kind of know where I am now. There's the fountain. If I were to go to the familiar before I go home, I may be pushing it a little bit. You might not get the benefits of a long rest.
I think that Pastiche thinks that in the more important thing is potentially trying to hear things at a tavern at night right now. So the familiar would probably be their first
Okay.
priority.
Yeah, you head into the familiar, and you see a lot of people who, half of them are drinking themselves into a stupor, and the other half appear to be angrily stewing in corners, not waiting to go into, waiting to go to their rooms, which are upstairs.
I do want to make a thing before I actually
Absolutely.
go in, though. Pastiche dishes the robe, and they're wearing like just a fairly their underclothes of the robe are just kind of like generic like tunic and pants. So like just like a linen shirt and things, more breathable, so they can quick change without being completely naked, because apparently that's happened before where they have changed quickly and the wrong people on the material plane have seen it and made a big deal. So now they always wear clothes underneath the clothes that they are wearing for a performance. But they morph themselves into the most average looking human that they can. So just a male with brown hair, about 5'8", and
so tall.
About 5'8". Sorry, I'll go with 5'7".
Oh my god.
And and just an average build. It has like workers muscles and a mustache that is thick and bushy with just brown eyes, and just doesn't really stick out that much, and walks in with a big old smile, looking around. And so that's what Pastiche looks like at the moment.
Okay. Pastiche, I need you to roll me a luck check, and I'm going to say you want to get as close to 10 as possible to determine how stand-outy this person is. If you get 10, this is the most average milquetoast person you've ever seen.
I got a 15.
You got a 15. Hey. You're pretty good looking. Not the greatest looking person in the room, but like I think you are average enough that like you can definitely blend into this crowd.
Went for average, landed on conventionally attractive.
Yeah. I landed at California average.
California average.
You look like an extra in a CW show. I think let's go there.
Yes. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There it is.
Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. This average Joseph walks into the familiar. It's a very different sight than it was this morning. The lights appear to be dimmed quite a bit than they were this morning, which was like bright and cheery and happy. The bar itself appears to be a lot stickier, possibly from people not caring as much as they did this morning when there was like a lot of people in here that were planning on spending quite a bit of money. Or it could also just be from a lot of people being so upset that they end up like spilling their drinks on the bar. On the back wall, I don't think you noticed this before, but it appears to be like wood carvings of the different animals that familiars can turn into. Along with like a couple of other like little weird ones, like apparently someone had like a wolf familiar at some point. One person had a bear. One person had a pig. And I think you notice it because there's a shine coming off of it and like little pieces of broken glass, specifically in the pig, as if someone threw a glass of ale at the wall in anger at some point during that night, and it's still wet. So people are not in a very good mood right now.
Oh, well, hey there, friends. How you doing?
Fuck off.
Looks like you had a pretty rough night in here. I just came in here to get a drink. It was a little crazy earlier.
A couple people look up at you, look you up and down, grimace a little bit, like in anger, and just immediately, like, their heads just back on the table, seem really upset. I think one of the only people who actually speaks to you is the individual who spoke to you earlier, the bartender, who says, can I get you a drink, friend?
Yeah, I'll take a drink. What's your name?
Karam.
Well, hey there, Karam. My name's Jon Noj. How you doing?
Well, I've had better days.
Yeah, it looks a little rough in here. Real rough, actually. But you piss off some people?
I not in the business of pissing off people. I'm in the business of pissed off people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, pissing off or pissing on, I'd rather be pissed off than pissed on, right?
I suppose that is true. I've been both today.
Oh,
Festival days are odd.
yeah. Brings out crazy folk. Like, man, there was that robot that came out and started attacking people. And of course you got all them fae. That can be a little crazy, right?
It can be, but it's part of the vibe of the festival.
Well, how long are they sticking around, you know?
I'm gonna roll an insight check on a nat 1. He just thinks you're racist. That's a nat 20.
Oh, sure.
Are you? What exactly is it that you're looking for?
What do you mean?
Well, you're asking.
I'm asking questions. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy to help you with the answers. I'm just. Regardless, normally the Fae individuals stay for mostly the festival. They stay a day or two after.
Okay. Very good. Any of them come in?
There's that one over in the corner, and you see an individual with gigantic pointy ears, a really, really large top hat, and a green and white magician's coat. You would recognize them as sort of like an MC on probation from your troupe, as well as an amateur magician whose stage name, and the only name he will go by is Golly G. Williker.
Oh, golly. All right. All right. Well, cool. So what exactly were everybody all pissed off about?
Well, there was a bit of a giant robot attack. It destroyed the fountain out front, and after that, the entire festival just sort of went into disarray. People left in a hurry when they could, and well, the people who stayed were upset that the crabs never showed up. The second day appears to be canceled.
Yeah. Well, have you heard anything? Hey, have you heard anything about portals being all weird or something?
Portals being strange.
Well, if crabs didn't show up from a water plane, you'd think that might be something to do with portals, right?
It's possible, of course, but it's not really my forte.
Has this ever happened before?
Not to my knowledge, and I've been here a good many years, as was my father and grandfather.
And so, this is something that is going on for generations, basically. You're telling me right now. And this is the first time that it just hasn't happened.
Yeah. I don't know,
So,
maybe climate change or...
Yeah, I don't believe in that, but what I do believe in is money talks. So, do you have any information for me? Have you heard anything around here? You're a guy in you own a tavern. You work in a tavern, you hear a lot of things. Let's keep this on the down low, and you give me a little information of things that you maybe heard in here. It slides 2 gold.
Okay.
Like palms it kind of like just disappears and then appears like in front of them. Trying to do a sleight of hand.
Okay. You can do sleight of hand. If you roll well enough on that, I'll give you persuasion with advantage. If you fail, I'll give you persuasion with disadvantage.
I got a 19 plus 4, so that is a 23 for the sleight of hand.
Yeah. Absolutely. Roll persuasion with advantage.
All right. Well, I'm gonna need that advantage because the first roll was a 2. Okay, and the second roll was a 14 plus 7, so 21.
Okay. This individual takes those 2 gold pieces, and I'm going to roll something. He looks over at you. He like bobs his head side to side. You know, there were a couple people in here earlier that were a little bit strange to me.
Oh, really?
One of them, completely covered in tattoos, left without finishing his training. The other one was one of those Fey individuals you said you saw earlier. White as a sheet, gigantic ears.
Weird.
I don't know, it's just something about them. It blocked me as strange.
Yeah, didn't like the look of that guy.
Well, I like to be tolerant of all people, but yeah, that does not appear to be your forte.
Well, who was stranger? Yeah, well, who was stranger to you? The one with that was pale, or the one with the tattoo?
Maybe the one with the tattoos.
Interesting. Okay. Well, with that, where'd that one go? Where'd you see him go?
He left towards the festival, and didn't see where he went.
Did you get a look at his face at all?
Not really.
What about any of the tattoos? Did any of them stick out to you at all?
Yeah, there was one on his forearm. It looked like a pine tree.
A pine tree. Okay. Like upside down, right side up, on the side, just a pine tree. Can you draw it for me?
Yeah, I'm not much of an artist, but I can draw it from memory if you'd like.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, he grabs like a napkin, a pen, which I'm gonna say that this fantasy world has pens, and just sort of draws what appears to be a. It's a pine tree, but like where you would normally see pine cones are what appears to be skulls in certain places, almost as if it's like a Christmas tree with ornaments of skulls on it.
So tree, like a tree of death almost, or something like that?
A little bit.
Would this be anything that rings Fey related to Pastiche?
It would, which is why I'm going to say that you can make Arcana or History.
Okay, I don't think that either of those are that good for me. Just a second. Arcana. Okay, yeah, Arcana gets a +1, and a History gets a +1. I'm gonna go with History. 10.
Just a 10?
Just a 10.
I mean, this kind of imagery you know to be Fey, but I don't think you're sure of like what it is exactly. It just definitely reads as something Fey, but you don't know this symbology. It doesn't appear to be connected to the Summer Court, at least.
All right. Well, friend, thank you. I'll take a drink as well. Real quick, for the road. You've been really helpful. Kieran.
You too.
Jon Noj.
Nice to meet you, Jon Noj.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Evermead, we got Every Mead, we got Any Mead, we got non-alcoholic mead, and he just starts going through the list of all of them, and I'm gonna say that's where like we end.
I will say Jon Noj says the same thing that Pastiche says. I will have all of them mixed together, and then winks at him.
All right, perfect. Vox, you're up next.
Oh god. So I guess I'll, once I see Luce Pastiche off, get Liv situated, point out where things are, if she needs anything in the night, and tip my hat, or I don't think I have my hat, so it serves hat, and then I'm gonna...
No idea what that gesture means, but okay.
Doesn't explain. I think I'm gonna take Serv's head, and I'm gonna walk out to our rocking chairs and over to that ashtray where I have all the burned meal tickets, and just dig through and see if the last one I burned up has anything left on it.
Make a luck check.
7.
Oh.
There's a small piece that appears to be left. It appears to be like what's essentially the bottom right corner. I think I can give you one word from the last message.
Yeah, I'll clunk Serv's head to turn the light on over it.
Run.
I'm gonna take out my box matches, strike it, throw one on to the rest of what hasn't burned up, take out another, pull out a pack of smokes, light one, just hold it. Absolutely not. And then I'm gonna walk slowly back to my my spot in the scrapyard. Go back to the room. Leave Serve on a chair I have outside. Grab a satchel full of various bits and bobs. Goes back out. Sits on the ground. So Serve is looking down on me. Puff once. Half burned. And I'm gonna pull out a couple of simple repairs, like a little handsaw, a bevel, a few things to kind of just solder in and like mark up metal. And then I'm gonna pull out a polished pistol stock with a base for basically just like the handle of a pistol. Set it on, and I'm just gonna sit and look over. So, I know you ain't talking now. But once I fix you, find a new project to keep you safe and everybody else from you, huh? I'm thinking something that goes boom. What do you think? Tell me what you think. And Vox is going to quietly work with the eye of their mentor over them in the interim before it gets too late and they think that they're running out of steam, and then they're going to turn in for the night, and they'll leave the head on the just the step outside, and we'll work on it in the morning.
As you fall asleep, you don't know how it happened, but the image of your sister is being projected out into the world. She's still out there. And at the very least, Serve got to give this message for her to you. And sometimes that can be enough. Luce, you get home. Your mother is fast asleep on the couch, as if she was waiting up for you as much as she could before passing out. In a chair next to her is Carp, who was also waiting for you. Both of them are fast asleep.
He's gonna grab blankets and pillows, ironically, and set it under the two of them, hoping that he doesn't wake up one of them. And I'm assuming he doesn't. And he's going to take time to himself in his room, take a deep breath, and he will pray again, but this time not like on his knees or in any like traditional fashion, just kind of like laying, looking at the ceiling and kind of looking at a shadow in the corner, and just whispers, if I am your chosen, so be it. And he'll unknowingly fall asleep.
Luce, for a very long time in your life, you have had a holy symbol of Zephyra on your wall. When you wake up, you don't know how it happened, but it is now the symbol of Karosa. Liv, you have your own room for the first time You are warm and your belly is full. There are blankets and pillows waiting for you and people who are looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. What's going through your head?
This all happened on the first day that she left. All the stories about how wicked and how evil all other people were outside of their little city. There's no way that's true. There is... People live in such luxury. They have food readily available, it seems. The average person. They have shelter. None of these seem to be kept behind your faith, behind how devout you are. And it's beautiful. So she's thinking, there is no way she is ever going back.
Can you make me a perception check, please?
17.
17. I think you're starting to finally, wind down. Your shoulders just sort of, relax. Half a moment. You think about taking off your armor to sleep, and then you're kind of not yet. As you go to the door to the second room, just before you turn the knob, you hear something on the other side that sounds like movement.
Oh, it must be Vox, so I'm gonna open.
You open the door, and you are met with yet another weird sight that you've never seen before, although these ones you have seen in pictures and drawings. A garishly bright red tiefling with 4 little baby stubby horns on the top of their head forming this shitty little makeshift crown is sitting on your bed, eating what appears to be a single bag of potato chips that you missed. And as you open the door, they look up, drop the bag, whole side down, so that way all the chips fall out directly onto the bed.
What a waste!
Stand up, immediately go over, give you the biggest hug and a huge kiss on the cheek, and goes, "Oh, thank the hells you're not dead!"
Oh, no, we're pushing that away.
No.
Stories Told Again is a podcast game mastered and produced by Austin Bakke and performed by Tiffany Veprinski as Liv, Took I Guess as Luce, Jeff Barry as Pastiche, and Rayne Eldridge as Vox. Editing by Rayne Eldridge and Jess the Cleaver. Scoring and mastering by Tiffany Veprinski. All art for the campaign is created by Beelzebub Harbinger. A link to their work can be found in the episode description. Website and social media by Chelsea Louis. If you like what we do, consider being a part of the story by joining our Discord or following us wherever we post. Links can be found in the episode description.